Chris Brintle. Chris Brintle.
Newsradio 1270, 106.7 KIML. And Chris Brintle joining us. Okay. This is something, this is actually something I wanted to talk about yesterday. Never got a chance to, but there's been some updates in this story since yesterday anyway. So, have you seen this? Have you seen this comedian on? She made a YouTube video a couple weeks ago. She's a young, thin woman. We'll just say she's in good shape. Did a video called "Dear Fat People," and I can't play any of it because there's a lot of swearing in it, and it's not FCC friendly. But it's she's a comedian, and it's basically a comedy routine saying that fat people are fat because they are lazy. That's what it comes down to. I mean, that's probably oversimplifying it a little bit, but that's her main argument. And the whole thing is obviously some kind of comedy routine. Well, people got upset, as people tend to do about everything these days, and managed to get the thing thrown off. Now, all medical arguments aside, there are medical reasons why people are overweight sometimes. Medical arguments aside, as a person who is a good bit overweight, I can tell you, at least in my situation, I'm overweight because I'm lazy. I eat like crazy. I don't watch what I eat. I eat junk 24/7, and I don't exercise. I'm fat because I'm lazy. So this video didn't bother me. I didn't find it particularly funny, but it didn't bother me. What did bother me is the reaction from people. There are actually fat activists now, which, you know, it's fine to.
They're factivists.
Yeah, they're factivists.
Yeah.
Well, there's no facts involved.
No facts involved in that.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Factivists.
I think the term is body positive. Let me see if I can find.
Geez.
Look, I mean, I don't mind people being proud of how they are. I think it's very good thing to be comfortable in your own skin.
Oh yeah.
You know, whatever you look like, I really don't care. What I have a problem with is people that see something that they don't like and immediately have to get rid of it.
I got a problem with a lot of things with this. Number one, we've talked about this before. It's always trouble, I feel like, in a country or society where people censor each other, and that there was so much of an outcry, her video was taken down.
Yeah.
That there's something wrong with that. I don't care what somebody says, whether you find it vile or whatever. It's somebody's opinion. I would never, ever try to lead a coalition to take somebody's video off. Secondly, what else bothers me about this is the double standard, because I feel like, you know, there's plenty of overweight comedians that rail on skinny women typically. They typically will just, I mean, they make fun of eating disorders, make fun of everything, and I don't care. Most of it's funny. I don't care either way, but that's a type of body shaming.
Yeah.
Do they get on the fat comedians for that? Or the overweight comedians? No, they wouldn't.
No,
it's always they always get on the, you know, usually attractive, in shape person when they do the same thing that an overweight person would do, or an average looking person or under average. I don't know what, depending on the case. But there's a double standard there. So here's where I stand on anything comedic. Either everything is funny or nothing is funny. I'm so sick and tired of this whole thing. Well, I knew a family member that's not funny because I had a family member that went through that. We've all had family members with that. I don't care. Either everything's funny or nothing's funny. You can't love lewd jokes on one hand because it didn't happen to you, but then you hate other ones. You find it offensive because something did happen to you, and you decide to get a video off. It's a double standard. I'm sick of it. People are just whining and playing the victim.
Well, and
by the way, most people are fat because they're lazy.
Yeah, and they're look. I mean, I know there are people that have contributing conditions, but they can be overcome.
I have a whiskey gut because I drink whiskey.
Okay. Now, how is that different from a beer gut? Because, I mean, I have what you would describe as a beer gut, but I very rarely drink.
Whiskey guts they're a little harder.
Okay.
They're just,
mine is a...
It's still cellulite, but
mine is a soda and iced tea gut.
Yeah, that's true. Mine's a kind of a nice mixture of... Really, it's a gut because of no vegetables and no fruits in the diet.
See, but I love fruits and vegetables too. I love all food. That's the problem. I like fruits. I like vegetables. I like pasta. I like meat. I mean that's my problem. And I'm not terribly overweight, especially for a radio guy. But I realize the position I'm in.
And usually overeating it's typical. You don't even have to work out to stay somewhat in shape and thinner.
Funny thing is, I don't eat huge portions. I probably am one of those people that can claim I have a slow metabolism.
Well, you're not that,
Well, but when I was younger, I was much thinner, and I ate just like I do now. When people get older, their metabolism goes down. They get fat. That's the way to correct that is to eat less and exercise more. And I haven't done it. That's I can laugh about that. I can make jokes about that. I mean, I make jokes about being fat all the time, and I would make jokes if I were too skinny. I mean, it's not really that big of a deal, but we have an entire generation that has been raised to believe that they have the right to destroy. They didn't just take down this comedian's video that makes fun of fat people. They took down everything she did.
Yeah.
And, she's a comedian that gets her word out with YouTube videos.
It's hurting her career. I mean,
these people tried to destroy her career because they didn't like that she made fun of fat people. Meanwhile, they're making fun of her for being skinny. The responses to it, I mean, first off, I just got to say this right off the bat, and I'm pretty sure no one listening to this show right now has ever made a response video to something. I mean, I know my demo. My demo doesn't make response videos. But if you see your kids or grandkids doing response videos, stop them. Do it. Just stop them from doing it. There is no reason to make a response video other than you want attention.
It's very lame. Response videos just in general.
Yeah. I mean, first off, you're not coming up with an original thought. You're reacting to someone else's original thought.
Right.
And chances are that person's thought was stupid too.
I mean,
this video, this so-called fat shaming video, it's not funny. But I don't care. I don't care. I mean, she has the right to not be funny.
Exactly. And I just think that, if you make funny jokes about bigger people or fat people or really skinny people or average looking people or ugly people, it's all funny.
Yeah.
Just get over it. We need to learn to laugh at ourselves and quit playing the victim. You know who I blame in this? You talked about my generation, really. We were brought up on self-esteem or in schools and we can't damage little Johnny's self-esteem.
Yeah.
Well, don't give us grades then, I guess.
And you're right at the edge of that generation that is becoming adults now, and they believe that they have the absolute right to destroy anyone who disagrees with them. They have the right, if their little feelings are hurt, they have the right to find out where this person lives or this person works, get them fired from their job, get them kicked out of their apartment, have their children taken away from them by Child Protective Services. And I'm not exaggerating. All of these things have happened to people that posted a bad joke online.
And, I'll say this. I mentioned the self-esteem thing earlier. Yeah, self-esteem is a great thing. But when you're teaching kids to feel good about themselves and they've accomplished nothing, that's the problem.
Yeah,
and that's how I was. That's my generation in a nutshell. Feel good about yourself. even though you've accomplished nothing. You're sitting home eating Doritos or in your parents' basement.
Well,
no, you feel good about your self-esteem is good if you've accomplished things.
Well, and
that's not a wasp, is it?
No, it's a moth. Okay, that's how you get an entire generation of people who aspire to be victims.
Oh yeah,
you have a gender studies major living in their parents' basement with a master's degree in gender studies or race studies, $100,000 in student debt, working at Starbucks. Nothing wrong with Starbucks, but and they're wondering why their life is miserable. And all they do is sit around on the internet all day looking for people that they can destroy.
Right. It's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, this woman got her YouTube video back, and she's the good news about this is people are starting to fight back. This woman will probably get gigs, and she'll get to go and do stand-up comedy and do whatever it is she wants to do, and she'll probably make a couple bucks off this. Well, at least until they figure out that she's really not a good comic. I mean,
Yes.
that's the thing. I mean, you're going to see a backlash, and I think it's getting stronger and stronger. I think people are tired of being told that they can't make a joke because it might offend somebody 2,000 miles away.
If she was smart, she'd make a tongue-in-cheek, fake, funny apology video and repost it. And basically, so you make the apology video, but yet you're still going to make fun of fat people.
Yeah. Well, I think she did something like that. I didn't watch it, but her video after the Dear Fat People video was called the most offensive video in the world.
Oh, geez.
So but she's obviously going for the shock thing now, which good for her. Somebody needs to go after this social justice crowd.
Oh yeah,
and put them in their place, because I mean, right now they have a lot of power. And
it's funny because when I see a video that somewhat offends me, like say for instance, there's a video about somebody bashing Catholics or Christianity in general, I never once think I should get this person offline. I think, hey, you know what? I disagree with that person, and then I move on to whatever else I'm doing. Maybe not watch it if I'm offended.
Yeah.
It's just simple as that.
Well,
don't watch it. Don't listen to it if you're offended by it.
And the thing is, it's politically correct to make jokes about Christians. I mean, you can make jokes.
Oh yeah, they don't care.
All the jokes about Christians you want, and there will be no repercussions. But you make a joke about, I don't know, Muslim, you're out the door before you can even say the punchline.
Just, you know what though, and you know what's kind of weird about it? French people, they don't really get protection either. People make French jokes all the time. What's with that? And that's perfectly acceptable. Or redheads. People make redheads jokes all the time. You know, they say that nasty, nasty G word.
Oh, well, you know, the G word, that's a funny thing. If you're talking about the G word for men, not so much. I think it's kind of a dirty word. You say the G word for a women, it's not bad. Yeah, I don't think it's a slur to call a woman a ginger. Mainly because they look a lot better than men with red hair. I mean, really, have you ever? I know, I know you can pick out a handsome man when you see one. Have you ever seen a handsome redheaded man? Maybe Robert
you know
Redford.
What?
Robert Redford.
Maybe Robert, but that's few and far between.
Yeah, and I mean,
there's not a lot of Robert Redfords in the world. There's more Ed Sheerans.
There's more Seamuses. Although I think his has died. I don't even think he's really a redhead.
But as far as females are concerned, a lot more of those.
Yeah.
That's why I want one of my 4 wives to be a redhead.
Well, work on that equality.
Oh, yeah.
And remember, when you go to get your license, you're going to have to stand in the office and yell at people. Because that's how things get done.
Exactly.
Okay, what do we have going on in sports?
Well, we have an interview with Moorcroft Wolf head football coach Dusty Petz.
Okay, sounds good. Have a guest next hour, so we won't see you next hour. Newsradio 1270, 106.7 KIML.
This is the Don Carpenter Show on the new Newsradio 1270 and 106.7 FM KIML. If it's sports, we've got it covered. Now with Chris Brentle.